ערב טוב, קהל נכבד. שמי איריס רגב, אני צ'לנית בתזמורת, ואני מאוד שמחה לארח את הסולנית שלנו, הצ'לנית סול גבטה, לשיחה וגם קצת מוזיקה. אז אני אעבור לאנגלית ברשותכם. Sol, I know that you are originally from Argentina, so obviously your mother tongue is Spanish. But by now I've heard you speak several different languages with other musicians. Can you tell us what languages do you know and which countries you've lived in?
Yes, actually the first thing why I speak languages is not just because the mixture of my family, which I have, is already very big. I have a Russian mother, but she was born in France, so I have a French past. And for my father's side, he's Argentinian. Of course, my name, Gabetta, comes from Italy. And in a way, of course, I have also an Argentinian past. So I am half Argentinian, half Russian with a French passport. So that's why it's already very mixed. But in a way, also, I think it's very nice for me to learn other languages. And that's why I also speak with friends. Also, if I cannot speak, I try to speak. Because I think when you speak the languages of other people, you are always trying to open a new door, a new, I don't know, actually a new way to the other culture. And that's why I always like to speak the language of other friends, because I have the feeling I am much closer to the mentality of these persons. And I think with music it's also a little bit the same. We have different styles, of course, classic, romantic, modern music, and also pop music, jazz music. And somehow I think that it's important as a musician and as a person to be open to all these styles. It's not just because today I play the Haydn concerto that this is my only style, you know. I like also sometimes, if I have good friends playing jazz music, why not? We can try to play jazz music. Also, if I am very bad, but I will never learn if I am not really, I don't know, ready to make this step, you know. So in a way, I think it's always a question of flexibility as a person, if you're interested to go one step to the other person, or if you are just waiting what happens around. So my personality is a little bit like this, that I don't care if I'm wrong or not wrong, but I try just to make the first step.
Oh, that's wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit of what it's like for you to travel with your cello? Obviously, keep it close to you all the time, and it's with you, next to you on the seat in the plane, and in the airport, and the hotel. Do they ever give you trouble? Do you ever have any funny story or something that happens?
Well, you know, on the beginning, it was, of course, a heavy thing to take with me, because I was small, with 8 years old. I have a brother. I mean, we are 4 children, but my brother, which is 5 years older, he's a violinist. And he always came with his violin very easy like this, and I was with my cello, you know, very heavy. So this was not a nice time. But I must to say, after the time I started to travel with the airplanes and trains, and I have the chance to have my cello just with me, I am very happy. You know why? Because I have really my space. I can really put my legs, you know, behind the cello if I really have the instrument there, and I have no problems. I can sleep just quiet. It's nobody just in front of me or behind me, or you know, I don't know. I have the feeling I am just alone with the instrument. It's like a partner. It's like a family in a way. So. Actually, it's a nice life. It's just a little bit heavy to, I mean, you know perfectly as a cellist how it's life as a cellist. Sometimes I ask myself if it's not better just to be a singer, or, I don't know, to play a flute. But actually, after every concert I do, or chamber music concerts, actually, and I hear again this sound of the instrument, I am sure also you feel the same thing. I realize why I am cellist again, because there is something in this voice of the instrument which is so deep and so strong in a way, so human in a way, that I prefer to take my cello with me, also if it's so heavy every time.
Do you ever ask for a meal for it on the plane?
It's interesting, because one day I was really hungry, and actually I said, look, I paid actually a ticket for this cello, so I want to have this meal. And she said, I'm sorry, we don't have, because it's an extra seat. I was so upset, because no, they don't take.
It's not fair.
No, it's not fair. You pay for it. I mean, it's a very expensive ticket, eh?
It's because people are eligible for discounts, but the extra seat always pays full price.
Exactly.
I found that out.
Yes.
Now, Sol, by now you've performed with the orchestra 8 or 9 times, and I noticed that you're a very charismatic player. I mean, the kind of energy that you project is really unusual. Is that a personal quality of yours, or is that something you've tried to develop over the years?
I think there is absolutely these 2 points together. I think the first thing, as a person, I am a positive person in general. I try also to be positive, also if I have a bad day, because I think my bad day cannot be the bad day of everyone which is sitting in the hall. So I should be, if I am in front of 2,000 people every night when I play a concert, I am there because I have something to give to this public. I have something special to give. Otherwise, why I sit here? This is the first question actually I ask me. So that's why actually I learned to be positive on the stage if I am playing a music which has this positive character. But for example, if you play a music which has a dark character, like Shostakovich concerto, for example, then I need also to forget myself, how I am. Maybe I am more an open person in a way. In this case, I really try to imagine I am not anymore Sol. I am not a girl with maybe not so big body, you know. And in this moment, I feel like a monster. I don't know why, but in the moment I am on the stage, and if I am playing a piece like this, I must forget my body. And my soul is just growing up much bigger than my body in a way. So I think it's a balance between these two things, but also something is interesting because my name, Sol, it doesn't came actually from the musical note. It came actually from the sun. Yeah. Sol in Argentinian, it's a sun, now in Spanish. And the reasons it's very interesting because my mom, these 4 children we are, before I was born, my mom had 2 twins, but I think they were for 4 days alive, and she was so sad, and it was such a terrible situation, familiar, for her, and also my sister, she's already autistic, so it was not an easy situation. So in a way, she said to my father, I would like to have another child because this family cannot end like this, so negative like this. And when she went pregnant, she says to my father, you know, if she's a girl, the name, it's absolutely clear. It will be Sol, because for me, it's the sun which is coming back home. So this is actually the reason why my name is Sol today. So I think it's a very special situation, also familiar situation in a way. So I have, in a way, also the responsibility to be the son for my parents, for my family.
It's a very appropriate name now that we know you a little bit. And tell me, for someone so young, you've had such an incredible career. How do you plan on keeping the momentum for the future?
Well, if I am sincerely to you, when I was maybe 19, 20 years old, and I ended all my studies in Basel and in Germany, I was studying. There were other people, for example, already with 12, 13 years old, making a very big career, you know. And in these moments, I never asked myself, I want to have a big career, I want to be a soloist. And I think this is a very healthy balance, because I see my students today that a lot of musicians, sometimes they are prepared like just to be a soloist, and then of course they have a big frustration if they need to play in chamber music or to teach or play in an orchestra. And I think this is a very wrong mentality, because to be a healthy musician and to be actually a pure and big artist, you must to have also the experience to play in all these ensembles, to be a teacher, to give music and to receive music, to communicate in a way also with other musicians. So that's why I tried everything. I played in orchestra, I teach now, I make a lot of chamber music, so I never asked myself when I will have a soloist career. And I think this is maybe the healthy thing, that I never was waiting for something. I just keep going, and I see what happens in my life, which other ways and doors are opening to me, and I take the moment. Really, this I do, because I am sure that the train is driving not 2 times, just one. And if you don't take this train, you can take another one, but it will be never the same, which was maybe the first time, you know?
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about your woman's point of view of the classical music world. Do you ever feel discriminated against yourself for being a woman? Like, is the classical music world a welcoming place for a young woman, or do you have to prove yourself extra hard when you get in front of an orchestra and the conductor and the musicians are much older than you and perhaps more experienced?
What I experienced in the last years, because in the last years also was for me the situation where when I started to play with bigger names, of conductors, bigger orchestras, like Israel Philharmonic, of course, also, When you come for the first time in a situation like this, as you said, for the first rehearsal, of course you are a little bit nervous because you are a girl, maybe that many people from the orchestra still don't know you, and the audience don't know me. It's my first time here, so there is a lot of things to prove. Of course, there is a lot of things to prove, but I must say that if every time you must to prove all the time what you are not anymore what you are, because you just want to be something that you are maybe not. This is the problem. So in a way, when I come out, also for the first rehearsal, I always say myself that what I am today, it's maybe good for today, it's for sure good for today, because this is me, and it's maybe bad for tomorrow. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Today I am like that. If they like me, they will like me, but if they don't like me, they will not like me. And this is a situation which you must accept. And in a way, I think when you are like this, in a way the people also accept you much easier, because they see that this is your proper personality. This is you. What I have sometimes problems is when I see, for example, conductors or other soloists, other people who I play, that they are completely simple person, but sometimes when you are in a group with other musicians, they want to be something that they are not. And this make a little block in a way between two persons and the communication, the real sensitive communication between two people. So I like to have also conductors which just give me a little bit space to be what I want to be in this moment of my concert. And somehow I try also to communicate with these three elements: the conductor, me, the soloist, and the orchestra. Because I think that the soloist, in a way, it's a big chamber music group, if you want, with a principal voice. But in a way, we should communicate together. And this group together is much stronger than one people strong.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about your cello. Who is it made by? How long have you had it? And also, what makes a great string instrument a great string instrument?
This is a very beautiful instrument. This is from Giovanni Battista Guadagnini. It was built in 1759. And actually, if you compare this with a car, for example, this is like a Ferrari or something like that, which can go very fast and have a very strong motor, but which is of course very dangerous also if you take an instrument like this when you are very young and you have not experienced how to drive this car in a way, so this instrument in a way. So I think it was important for me also that I tried a lot of bad instruments. I played very bad instruments. I play also carbon instruments, No. Yeah. And I tried a lot of things, and everything what I had in my hands, I imagine the sound I want to create. I need to imagine the sound I want to create. I need to imagine if I want to bring out a sound which is a red color or which is a very warm in a way. Red for me can be warm, for example. Or I must imagine if I want to bring a sound which is very dry and very sad or very cold. And in a way, if I imagine that, I think that of course can help a big instrument like this, and it helps. But in a way, I am sure it's also possible to realize much more with the bad instrument than what we expect. It is possible.
Okay. To help demonstrate this, would you agree to play something on your cello, on the Ferrari, and then on my Volkswagen Beetle?
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start from the Volkswagen Beetle. This is is actually not bad. Depends on the driver, I guess.
Let's see if it's better, the Ferrari.
Beautiful, thank you. You can stay there because now we're going to play the first movement from Mozart Bassoon and Cello Sonata. It has a repeat and it has a short pause for us to turn the page. It's not the end. It's about 4 minutes long. Thank you so much.